And good morning people, welcome back to HyperDimension Neptunia Rebirth 1. Last time I sort of started the game. Well, that usually happens on the first part, doesn't it? And we got introduced to Neptune and Compa. Neptune, also known as Purple Heart in the opening scenes, has fell to the ground and is now suffering from amnesia. Compa is just joining her because, well, acting as a guide to where she landed. So, first we need to find out where she landed. At the moment we've only got Planetoon, and I doubt she landed in the middle of the city. So let's go there. This is Planetoon, a city that Lady Purple Heart presides over. We already know Neptune is Lady Purple Heart. However, these two do not. Neptune because she's amnesiac, Compa because she hasn't actually seen anything. Hasn't actually seen Lady Purple Heart yet. Because they've been fighting the console wars between each other, the four ladies: Purple Heart, Black Heart, White Heart, Green Heart, which has been away from this. Of course, amnesiacs usually hear something and think, oh, I know that, but I don't know where. Just head into the park right outside the city, so it's not too far away. Neptune, where are you going? Why are you rummaging through the garbage? Don't you already have that sword equipped, by the way? She does, but she needs to find it first, I guess. Yeah, why not LARPing, I guess. Basic controls in the city. Cities are not free roaming. We're not going to be walking around in them. Instead, they are menu based. Here it does tell you a bit about them, but let's ignore that for the moment and show the virtual forest which has appeared. We're not going there, we're going back to Planetoon and showing you the interface. There's the shop, which we can buy items. There's healing grass and detoxins. Detoxins remove poison from an ally. To be honest, there's no point in buying any of those. Poison as a status does not last after battle, so if you can finish a fight before you die of poison, you don't need a detoxin. On a long drawn out battle, yes, maybe, but we won't be seeing one of those for a while. And healing grass, 100 credits. At the moment, don't have any credits, so can't really do too much. There's the bamboo sword here. It is a better weapon than the wooden sword. Again, I don't have 100 credits, but I doubt I'll even be seeing that weapon for a reason that's going to pop up later. Leather bracelet and leather armlet. Very big increase in defense already. The leather bracelet is more physical based, the armlet is more magical based, but that's what, for 23 defense and 40 magic defense for Neptune, and similar ways on that. Yeah. Ornaments. These are the necklaces that that I pointed out. At the moment, we don't have a lot of them available, but one that increase agility, one that increase technique for dodging and hitting, one that increases luck for critical chance, one that increases your movement around the battlefield. Soul Bracelet increases attack power in both areas. I'm going to be picking one of those up, or maybe a couple of those up as soon as I can. And stamina for a big increase in health. Clothing, we'll be seeing a lot of that, and you won't want to know what the prices are. Processors, we'll be picking up processors later. They have something to do with the discs that we'll be seeing. And materials, I haven't actually seen a material be purchasable yet. Selling items, we can sell anything that we find. There's the museum, which we can look at any of the pictures that we've found or seen in the game so far. Audio, we have the music of the game. And that's about that for now. But the most important part of the towns is the information place at the moment. This is where you get interesting little tidbits. Sometimes you find items, sometimes you find information, sometimes you get plans. Plans I'll explain in a little bit. But Shaco, only been sleeping for 7 hours. Is that all? Kimizunana, singing, dancing, idol. Can fight singing too. Many of these we're just getting introduced to at the moment, and we'll be seeing a lot more of them later. Player 2, finally his time is now. And the Raymond Connoisseur, which will be seen later. There's not a lot that we'll really be getting from those, but they're there. Again, one of these little discovery points on the map, they pop up fairly often between parts of the story, so do look around and check them out. This is Dengeki Lass, the remade HyperDimension. So we've now been introduced to her. And I believe that's pretty much it at the moment. So let's head into the virtual forest, because there's nothing else that we can really do right now. As you can see, it's telling us the inhabitants of the forest. That's all the enemies that we're going to be facing. One thing I wish it did is tell you what items you will find in the forest, because items are much more important than the enemies you find and fight in this game, as far as I'm aware right now. But they're also harder to find on any menu. So yeah, I wish it had the items you would find first, because the change mode just tells you, just takes you directly to places. So, into the virtual forest. Elegantly lodged into the ground. I believe Compass said you were head first. So I wouldn't expect elegantly to be part of that. But it's a bit further back, not at the start, because why would it ever be? It is a dungeon area that we go into. And there's now monsters all over the place. That blue dog-like jelly thing over there. Again, fourth wall doesn't exist. It just popped out of nowhere over the last few years, so monsters in the HyperDimension world, or this HyperDimension world, aren't a consistent thing. They've only been introduced recently. And Neptune, yeah. She has her trusty sword made of wood and the skills. It'll be a piece of cake. And this is where Compa actually shows her weapon. The huge syringe that we saw at the end of the last part on her equipment screen. Yeah, the imagination of where the giant syringe comes from doesn't explain the how, but then again, this is a game. Interdimensional pockets. Let's just beat the nasties and go on. So, yeah, it just tells you about the dungeon, and we'll go into that in just a moment. So this is the dungeon screen. It's a lot more free roaming. We can run around. We can swing our sword for preemptive attacks if necessary. Pressing the square button, and if you were doing a PlayStation controller, that's a scan. It basically, if you find a hidden item, it will appear, and you will be able to pick it up. You can also jump, but to be honest, jumping isn't really that amazing in this game. It does get you places occasionally though, so yes, it does have a use. Pressing the start brings up the map and anything that you've already found, and tells you what the map icons are. So in front of us we have an event point. And of course idle animations. So, oh, we can actually zoom in and out on the map. I didn't realise that one. Oh well. Anyways, let's go towards this event point, and then we'll explain a bit more about what's going on in here. The Dogu, basically our first slime, because most RPGs start off with a slime enemy. And smash. Basic battle controls, yeah.
Let's have fun! If you're hurt, leave it to me!
So, say hello to the battle screen. This is one of the things they changed between HyperDimension Neptunia and HyperDimension Neptunia Rebirth. I'm not sure how, because I don't know. I haven't actually seen the first one on screen, but it is one of the aspects that they did change. So up in the top right we have health and mana of the enemies. When you have got one in your sights, the box in front of you is your range of attack. It will show, it will highlight it and show the name of the enemy. You can walk anywhere or run anywhere within the circle, depending on how much move you have. It does not do any. You do not use up your move for just walking around. This is the limit of where you can move from the start. At the bottom you've got your stats as well, and up in the top right, the order of action. So Compa is first, then Neptune, sorry. Then we've got the two Doggoos, and then back to Compa, Neptune, and the Doggoos again. Over to the right, we've got our commands. What each of the symbols do. There's SP skills, the Y command. I'm basically using what is essentially a Logitech controller, so I have Y, X, A and B. The game recognises what the buttons are, so it's showing them, so it is convenient. And yeah, I can say, oh right, yeah, SB skills, Y, or basically triangle. And she has first aid, which recovers 30% of your HP, so it does scale quite well. If we bring it up, we have a sphere of influence. It is only one target, so you can, if you're alone, you just target yourself. If you to target someone else, they have to be within the radar, and then you have to select them. So if they're outside the radar, I can't target them, but I can if they are within the radar. But she doesn't need healing, so that's moot. On the right is basically the what the skill does. So type, heal skill, affinity, neutral. That affinity is what element? So fire, ice, wind, lightning. Neutral. Neutral is no element. Category is a heal. There's a number of categories in the game, in which we'll be seeing. Range is how far you can cast it, how many hits it has. So the heal spell only has one hit. Power is 30, so I believe that's 30% or something like that. Not certain completely. Guard damage, I'll be talking about guard damage in a bit. And effect is basically what effect, if it does any additional effects. On the right, on the far right, there's a radius. This the first aid is a single target, so it's just that square, that one target. If it is an area effect, it will have a circle around it, green circle that pulses. And that's actually all I've seen so far. I haven't seen any all skills. So there is one which is a line attack as well, which we'll be seeing later, and I'll show you. There's also defend, which is to defend, take reduced damage. I'll show the attack in a moment, but there's also that R. R is the right one button, which has HDD on. We'll be seeing that eventually. Switch, which is if you have someone in the back row, you can switch with that person. You can switch them out, which is going to come in useful later. Item, use any item you have, and flee. If you can't just escape a battle, and right now I'm not able to. I will show escape in just a moment. Anyways, we're going to attack.
Which may hurt a bit.
So, first up, straight away, base attack. Did 101 damage. Now I've got 3 attacks, or I could just stop it with the B button to cancel. Rush, you'll notice there's a rush next to Y, power next to X, and break next to A. Rush attacks usually have a large number of hits, are very fast, and increase the gauge of something that we'll be seeing later. Power, we'll come back to in a moment, because break is actually something you want to do before power. Up in the top left, I said it was skill points, but it's not. It's actually guard power. I do apologise for that. Guard power means it's got its guard up. break has the benefit. Many of the break skills have an increased chance of reducing that guard power more than a power or a rush attack. So what you want to do is break the guard. Once you have broken the guard, they take double damage or more. So let's stab.
This may hurt a bit.
And you'll notice the guard power has gone down significantly. Many enemies have different amounts of guard power. The guard power goes down slower or faster depending on the enemy. So do not expect the guard to be broken in a couple of hits. Generally, the higher the guard power, the slower it goes down as well. But these are the first enemies, so it's pretty easy. So let's do another stab.
It's time for your medicine.
And guard break comes up. Now they will take increased damage.
It's time for your medicine.
One good thing about the box is if you set up it right, enemies that are close like this can be hit together. Her box isn't quite there, but I'll show you a bit more about that later. Neptune has a SP skill which is cross combo. It's a physical attack and does a number of hits, but you'll notice SP is 200. 3 of those and I'm out of SP. Yeah, SP in this game is a very, very limited resource. You do not want to spam your skills because it is not good. So let's just attack, and he's down. Because his guard was broken, he took extra damage. They have had their turn, and let's attack again. So, well, I did 325 last turn, and with guard down I did 203 this time. So, at the moment, because there's nothing really else to do with the rush or the power, let's just break the guard. And,
Here we go! How was my power?
victory screen. Experience gained 4, credits earned 2. Yeah, you don't gain much credits in these early fights. Max damage, max combo. As far as I'm aware, they don't really affect the fight, the rewards in any way, so I don't know why that's there. And items found. You usually find materials. Every enemy drops a material. And from that, you will be doing things with those materials with plans, which we'll see a bit later. And there goes that doggo. So basically we're going to be running around and fighting for a bit. Treasure search, symbol attack and jump. Symbol attack is just getting initiative or being surprised by an enemy. It's a lot easier to be surprised than you'd think. This is the most important one though, the treasure search. There is, I believe there's at least one treasure in each area, so you do want to keep treasure searching until you find that item. Simple attack, initiative and surprise attacks. I'll show those in a little bit. And escaping, which I'll show as well soon. So first the surprise attack, or the symbol attack, whichever one came first. Yeah, so Doggoos have appeared. I'm going to escape from this and show you. There we go. This is the escape chance. If you do not... Wow, sneeze. Okay. If you are not near the edge of the battlefield, the flee command will not appear. As you can see. So let's see if we can escape. Fail to escape. And now they're going to walk towards.
Where's the patient?
So let's see if we can actually escape from the battle. Escaping is not easy. It all depends on how quickly the enemy is, and especially more dangerous enemies will outspeed your characters very, very easily. Now let's see if we can be surprised.
That's not fair.
Yeah, that's how easy it is to be surprised.
Gonna beat ya.
I did nothing special, I just swung my sword a little bit too early, and I was surprised. That is how easy it is. So, yeah, timing of your sword swings is quite crucial. If you don't swing your sword, you won't get surprised, or you won't get the symbol attack initiative. For the most part, you can still be surprised if they come at you from behind. Just so you're aware. So anyways, I'm just going to fight this and then go into the next fight.
Here you go! Here you go! Wait! Hey!
Since his guard is broken now, this is a very good time to use the power attacks. Power attacks do more damage per hit generally. But they don't break guard. Oh, sorry, that's not quite right. They do a fair amount of guard damage, but not as much as break. But they do much more damage than any other skill. So break skills are to break guard, power skills are to deal the damage, rush is to do something else.
Here I go! I did it! Do you want your shots? It's time for your medicine. My turn! How was my power?
So while we're on the subject of skills, which are basically commands, let's change some things up, shall we? Yep, basically I've removed everything. Because she does actually come with some better skills to start off with. So Neptune, we have Rush, which is 2 hits. As you can see, the power is fairly low, 23, but guard damage is 50. That is per hit. So 50 guard damage for 3 hits at 50 guard damage, or 3 hits at 23 power. Power Edge, so we've got 30 in 1 hit and 140 guard damage. 36 power for 1 hit and 200 guard damage. And we've got our final one with Break Hit for 230 guard damage with 1 hit. As you can see, does more guard damage per hit, but only a small amount of power, 21. It is not a good thing just to try and kill the enemy with. You want to break the guard and then use power attacks, generally. And Break Crush, which is 120 power guard damage, but it hits 3 times, so you basically do 360 guard damage. CP, I have a limit of 150, so I can't just fill everything up with the high level things, because I do not have any CP now, and that's just with the 5. So you do want to balance your abilities. For is that what I want for the moment? Let's go Break Hit, Break Crush, and then Power Slash. And then I've got Rapid Rush, and then Power Slash. Actually, I don't need these at the moment because I'm not going to be using them. They do a lot of hits quickly, but right now I need to focus more on these two. Compa also has a number of skills, Bonk, which is a physical attack, and Stabby Stabby, which is a magical attack. I said before, Compa does better with magical attacks. Bonk, even though it's okay, you really want to have the magic attacks up. Fire Syringe is already magical, so that can stay, and she also has Poison. Poison does an additional effect of actually inflicting poison. Who would have guessed? But it's because it's a magical attack, it's better than Slap, in my opinion, for her damage output. Sure, Slap does more guard damage, but to be honest, I'd rather just have that happen. SP skills, you can see the SP skills that they have as well. However, you cannot use them out of battle, so you cannot heal from a skill out of battle. First aid just doesn't work. The only way to heal outside of battle is with an item. Anyways, let's see some of these these skills, shall we? And show this new enemy, the Tulip. And as you can see, if I went straight on, I wouldn't hit both of them, but because I'm sort of angling it, I can hit 2 enemies at the same time. And yes, I do hit both 2 enemies at the same time.
Hey!
See, both of them took damage.
It's time for your medicine.
So let's break their guard, which has happened, and then fire to them.
Really?
And that's done. And I should hit these both again.
Easy.
I believe the Tulips have a chance to poison, and I believe they also have a heal skill. There's the guard broken, and end.
How is my power?
The enemies in this at the start of this game are simple, but that's also shown in the amount of experience they give and the credits that I earn. So I should get another level in the next fight or so. This question mark here, this is gathering node. These respawn every time you go into an area, so you can come back and gather whatever's here. In this case, 3 herbs. They are randomized, so don't think that you're going to get the same thing each time. And also, yeah, enemies spawn very quickly, so do not think that once you've gone through a place on your way back, they will be gone. They will come back and they will try to fight you again. 3 more herbs, nice. Night moon grass. And there is this. This is a area item. This is this is specific and one time only. This will not reappear, and once you've picked it up, it is gone for good.
Lucky.
Healing glass. I believe the secret item is over there, so I'm going to make my way over.
Ambush successful. If you're hurt, leave it to me.
Doesn't look like I'm going to get any levels off this.
It's time for your medicine. I did it too. I'll win again next time.
Okay, an herb over here, and then we're going to go and fight this new monster over here.
I found you.
This is the Doggo Man. What we thought before was the Doggo. Yeah, these are even uglier.
This may hurt a bit.
So, but they are quite a bit more stronger.
Shots. Gonna beat ya.
So, there we go.
What?
As you can see, fights in this game are not friendly. Compa is now down, what, 600 attack, 600 health in one hit. I'm not certain, but I believe your positioning on the battlefield actually affects your the damage taken. So if they attack you from the behind, you will take more damage, but I'm not completely certain there. But it does give me the opportunity to cast first aid on myself.
I'll patch you up.
So 30% of my experience, sorry, 30% of my health
Gonna beat ya.
has been restored. So let's finish this off. Your guard is broken, so finish it. I am just about to get a level up, so I am not really too bothered about taking damage here.
I'll win again next time.
So 16 experience, that will level me up.
Level up.
And I gain 100 experience, 100 health, a bit of it strength, a bit of everything apart from movement. I'm not sure if I actually gain movement in this game outside of items, so I probably won't see much in that.
Level up.
But Compa's got a level as well, so more health and stats for her. And if you look in the bottom right, I am fully restored. Level ups give you full restoration in both HP and SP. And a surprise attack.
What? Finally. Easy. Leave it to me. Hey! I'm sorry. This may hurt a bit. I'm sorry. Finally. How was my power?
Okay, now that that's out of the way, I need to find this secret item.
Victory!
Okay. Come on, I know you're around somewhere. There you are.
Whoa! What's this?
And healing pod times 2. So, nothing too special. But it's something.
Lucky.
Plan. Life fragment received. Plans. We won't be able to see anything about that yet because we haven't received the tutorial for it. But once we get out after this, we'll be able to see it.
We can make game industry peaceful again.
And more
Lucky.
items. Plan for a healing pod and free scenario times 4. That I believe is a processor. Yeah. Lowers damage received from data type foes. To be honest, right now I can't do anything with that. And I failed that miserably. This is the Boxer X. Now, I would not be surprised if this is a play on words with the Xbox. It seems that way, doesn't it? This is a bit more stronger than the enemies around.
If you're hurt, leave it to me.
But not by too much.
It's time for your medicine. We're strong, aren't we? Cha-la-la-la-cha-cha-cha.
I do get a level though, so more stats.
Level up.
Right now, I'm not going to be getting anything more than that. Red pigment. That makes dyes, if I remember correctly.
I found you. Finally, we did it. Super win.
And I'm getting some fairly. I'm pretty much already too powerful for the enemies around here. The enemies here are very, very simple. However, I do think I want to get up to around about level 4 before I go into the next event trigger over there. So
Lucky.
let's pick that up and then use this save point. Basically, in areas which are important, you'll find one of these usually near the end. Not in every area, but in a fair few of them. So next time, I'll have leveled up to level 4 and we'll go and see that event over there. And see if there's any more items around. I don't believe there are, but who knows, might find something. So, until then, have a wonderful day, have lots of fun. Goodbye.